What is going on, guys? It's Rob, aka FlightSimToday, and that's it. Some sad news. Halloween is cancelled, all thanks to the pandemic. So we can't go trick-or-treating, we can't go to parties. So I thought, let's Netflix and chill this weekend. So here are the 11 best movies about airplanes. Let's go. And before we get into this, please do remember, hit that subscribe button, stay up to date with our reviews, tips and tricks, and just random content like this. And also in the description below there's a link to our Discord server, the Flight Sim Network, where we have real world pilots, real world aircraft controllers, sim supervisors all hanging around. No question is stupid. If you have a question you want to ask, it's a super safe environment to ask it. So with that said, like I said, unfortunately Halloween now is pretty much cancelled. We can't do anything, all thanks to the pandemic. So this weekend I thought let's sit down and let's watch some of our all-time favourite aeroplane movies, or movies that involve airplanes in some kind of way. These have been voted simply by me in no particular real order, so you have to bear with me with that one. If there is any you think I've missed off, leave it in the comment below, and we can rate it from there. But with that said, let's go straight in to number 11. So in number 11 is Catch Me If You Can. Now this underrated Steven Spielberg film stars Leonardo DiCaprio as the real-life FBI fraudster Frank Abagnale Jr. One of Abagnale's clever ways of getting away from FBI agent Carl Hanratty, played by Tom Hanks, is impersonating a Pan Am pilot, and despite being 17 and having no flying experience. Along with the unexpected friendship between an FBI agent and a bank forger, the film is also chock full of vintage 1960s aviation details that will make any of us super happy.
Posing as a pilot, call him the James Bond of the sky. Hello, pusher.
This is by far the best date I have ever been on.
He's a kid. That's why he doesn't have a record.
30 milligrams of codeine every 4 hours. Do you concur?
I concur.
Dr. Harris.
Yes?
Do you concur?
Concur with what, sir?
In at 10 is Snakes on a Plane. Now we all know the famous line, so there's no need to even repeat it here. But suffice to say that this film is a ridiculous, over-the-top, expletive-filled action flick that's pretty much what the title says it is. It was mostly panned when it first came out, but it has gained a lot of cult following ever since. And luckily, according to rumours, Samuel L. Jackson actually wanted to be part of the film because of its silly title, so he clearly didn't take it that serious. But also, don't think a snake falling from an overhead bin can't happen, because it actually did in 2016. Sleep well.
Can anybody hear me?
Let's go!
Shh. Did you guys hear that?
Number 9 is Flight. Denzel Washington stars as an alcoholic pilot who manages to avoid a plane crash with some pretty physics-defying manoeuvres. And while he's praised for saving so many lives, which by the way, the crash only had a few casualties, spoiler alert, an investigation makes him and everyone around him question his judgment and actions. Responses to Washington's performance were a bit mixed at the time, but this film is everything you could need from an aviation film. A deeply flawed protagonist looking for redemption, tense action, and heartbreaking revelations.
Evan, listen to me. Trim us nose down.
Plane fell apart at 30,000 feet.
We're gonna roll it.
What do you mean, roll it?
Ready? Here we go.
In at 8 is Sully, and this one could not be left out at all. It's the incredible story of US Airways pilot Chesley Sully Sullenberger, and easily one of the most famous for the history books, career-defining moments, and Tom Hanks brings it to the big screen. Now, while Sullenberger was hailed a hero after making an emergency landing in the Hudson River without a single casualty, this film kind of does not portray him as a hero nor portray him as a villain. So, make your own judgment with that.
Engine loss at 2,800 feet, followed by an immediate water landing with 155 souls on board. No one has ever trained for an incident like that.
Our job is to investigate how a plane ended up in the Hudson River.
On the Hudson.
It's not a crash, it was a forced water landing.
Simulations showed that you could make it back to the airport.
Not possible. I felt it go. My aircraft. Your aircraft. I want you to know I did the best I could.
Of course you did. You saved everyone.
People call you a hero.
I don't feel like a hero.
Show us your cake, super seller. There's been too much talk in the press already.
I'm overwhelmed by all this attention. The left engine was still operating. What if I did get this wrong? What if I endangered the lives of all those passengers?
I got an A320 diving for the river.
You did everything you could. It was more than enough.
When was your last drink, Captain Sullenberger? Have you had any troubles at home?
This is the captain. Brace for him.
Number 7, Red Eye. Wes Craven's in-flight suspense thriller is definitely one of the better and underrated, in my opinion, suspense thrillers out there. It stars Rachel McAdams as a woman who is kidnapped and dragged into a murder plot by a stranger aboard a red-eye flight. It's one of those highly psychological horror movies that builds just the right amount of tension and doesn't lag anywhere along the way. It may not be the most realistic movie, but it's certainly an entertaining one.
That's why God created the Tex-Mex. Last nachos in the airport. Save your seat.
Oh, Hi.
What do you have? To always looking forward.
Cheers. Hi. That's actually my seat.
You're kidding. You're not kidding. So what are the odds, huh?
I know.
You're not stalking me, are you?
No. So what do you do?
In at 6 is Airport. This 1970 classic might be one of the first airplane disaster movies ever. It stars Burt Lancaster, Dean Martin and Jacqueline Bisset, and centres around the flight and ground crew who are figuring out how to safely land their plane after a bomb is detonated on it. It's a bit of an old-fashioned film that can be a little cheesy at times, but it's essentially watching for aviation fans.
150 pounds.
Toronto Center, this is Global 2. Seem to have a problem here. Request clearance back to Lincoln at lower altitude.
I'm Ada Quonset.
And you do.
Guerrero, listen to me. They know about you on the ground. You'll kill yourself for nothing if you explode that bomb.
Give me the case. Grab him, he's got a bomb!
Number 5 is Up in the Air. George Clooney and Anna Kendrick star in this smart and funny portrait of corporate employees who live out their suitcases. Clooney is a man who is just shy of one of his life goals, 10 million frequent flyer miles, when his company slashes his travel budget. Now, it's not as action-packed as other films on this list, but it's superbly acted and has an excellent and entertaining script that pretty much guarantees a good watch.
Your TV, backpack should be getting pretty heavy now. You go bigger. Your couch, your car, your home. I want you to stuff it all into that backpack.
Number 4 is Castaway. Now, it seems impossible not to be moved and terrified by the epic plane crash that happens in this film based on a true story. The beginning of this movie doesn't shy away from a difficult situation, and honestly, it can be hard to watch for anyone who flies a lot. But the film ultimately is about survival and is a sad, impressive and sometimes funny journey that we're all happy to go on with Tom Hanks.
Don't. If I'm not here, I'm not.
Just so long as you're here New Year's Eve.
I will be here New Year's Eve, I promise.
2 more minutes. Thanks. Hey,
Oh, my. Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas.
I love you.
I love you too.
I'll be right back. Fire! Engine 1!
Number 3, The Right Stuff. This movie focuses on the lives of the first US astronauts, but much of the film is about the grueling training they went through in order to have the right stuff. It's a highly personal, funny and triumphant film that centres around some significant points in American history and has some amazing performances from Sam Shepard, Scott Glenn, Ed Harris and Dennis Quaid.
Very dangerous. Count me in. I got a rocket in my pocket and a roll in my wall.
Ambitious.
Who's the best pilot you ever saw? You're looking at it, baby.
Patriotic beyond question.
I just thank God I live in a country where the best and the finest in a man can be brought out.
My pleasure to introduce to you America's Mercury astronauts!
7 men who would risk their lives in a hurtling piece of machinery to cross the threshold of space.
It takes a special kind of man to volunteer for a suicide mission, especially when it's on TV.
Number 2, Top Gun. You know it. This Tom Cruise classic is about a high-flying Navy pilot, and we're sure that he's inspired a lot of 80s kids and 90s to become pilots. The film has some of the best aerial footage in Hollywood history, and is one of the movies that launched Cruise's career. And we dare you not to quote Maverick after watching. Let's kick the tires and lick the fires, Big Daddy!
Need for speed.
5 weeks, you're gonna fly against the best fighter pilots in the world.
You guys really are cowboys.
I don't like you because you're unsafe.
That's right. I am dangerous.
The wild card flies by the seat of his pants.
Yeah, I guess when I see something, I go right after it.
It takes a lot more than just fancy flying.
Gentlemen, this school is about combat. There are no points for second place.
You figured it out yet?
What's that?
Who's the best pilot?
No, I think I can figure that one out on my own.
And last, but no means least, Airplane. There's no better airplane film than one that makes you laugh. Sure, some of the jokes and gags in this film haven't survived the test of time, but this screwball 1970s comedy has one of Michael Scott's favourite lines. Ed Striker says, "Surely you can't be serious." Dr. Wimmer, "I am serious. Don't call me Shirley." Classic comedy gold.
Airplane is drama.
This is Dr. Brody at the Mayo Clinic. There's a passenger on your Chicago Flight 209, a little girl named Lisa Davis, en route to Minneapolis. She's scheduled for a heart transplant. I want you to make sure that she's kept in a reclined position and that a continuous watch is kept on her IV.
Airplane is action. Airplane is romance.
I love you, Elaine.
I
love you. Airplane is music.
There is only one river. There is only one sea.
Airplane is dancing.
Staying alive, staying alive. Staying alive.
Never has the screen been so big.
You ever been in a cockpit before?
No, sir, I've never been up in a plane before.
Peter Graves.
You ever seen a grown man naked?
Kareem Abdul-Jabbar.
My name is Roger Murdoch. I'm an airline pilot.
Leslie Nielsen.
This woman has to be gotten to a hospital.
A hospital? What is it?
It's a big building with patients, but that's not important right now.
Lloyd Bridges.
Johnny, what can you make out of this? This?
Well, I could make a cap, or a brooch, or pterodactyl.
Robert Stack.
All right, Steve, let's face a few facts.
And we hope you enjoy the rest of your flight.
Julie Haggerty.
By the way, is there anyone on board who knows how to fly a plane?
Can you fly this plane and land it?
Robert Hayes.
Surely you can't be serious. I am serious. And don't call me Shirley.
I've got to get out of here. I've got to get out of here. Calm down. Get a hold of yourself.
Please, let me handle this.
Calm down. Now get back to your seat. I'll take care of this. Calm down. Calm down. Get a hold of yourself.
Doctor, you're one of the phone. Everything's been all right.
Sister, please, I'll handle this.
Mayday! Mayday!
All right, now everybody, get in crash positions.
The most incredible adventure the screen has ever created.
He's coming right at us!
The big news is Airplane.